So today I was thinking, and this is something I was talking to Aditya today, that as a doctor, ठीक है, हमने अभी कितने 12 साल हो गए इस प्रोफेशन में.
हाँ 12 साल हो गए
12
सच में
साल हो गए ना
यार.
काफी. And
Yeah.
so we do have some insight about uh, is it worth being a doctor? ठीक है, this after 12 years you are at a verge कि अब बच्चा नौकरी करनी है, अब एजुकेशन खत्म हो गई, and this thought ponders कि यार was it worth being a doctor for 12 years and studying for it? What lies ahead of us? What's next? And this also comes in context to a recent tweet by Deepu Sebin. I think all of you know who Deepu Sebin is. He does not need any introduction.
फिर भी बता देंगे जिसको नहीं पता.
बताओ ऐसे कौन है?
He is the founder of Marrow. He is the guy who founded Daily Rounds.
Daily Rounds.
He is the guy who founded, the name of the company is by the way Neuroglaya. So he's the guy who founded that, and he recently tweeted that he misses, let's put it this way, that he's the founder of Marrow and he's shit rich. Must be, if not shit rich, he's definitely is very rich because of being the founder of Marrow. And he recently tweeted, and he has been an educationist. He has taught also in Marrow in the initial years. He's an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, let's put it that way. And even now that he tweeted on, we'll put the tweet actually, that I miss being a practicing doctor. I miss being a clinician and taking care. It's one of the truest things that I've done. And in 2024, I hope to get back. Now imagine a person, he's a rich person by the way. Okay, let's put it that way. A lot of people tend to associate that being a doctor, is it worth it or not, with the monetary aspect of the compensation that we get. And a lot of people tend to say that it's not worth it because the compensation does not match the amount of efforts that we actually put in. This is a person who doesn't have that problem. He actually did something that made him well compensated. Let's say he made him, he was an entrepreneur, made good money through Marrow, made good money through Daily Rounds, and still says that he misses being a clinician. It's the truest thing that he has done, and that's why we got to the topic of this podcast. Ki,
What is it being a
what
doctor?
is it being a doctor?
Like at the core of it, I think that satisfying thing that you can do. What do you think, Oishika? Like, so Oishika is not is a first generation doctor in her family.
I think me and Oishika both are first generation doctors actually.
And so for first generation doctors, yes. In fact, I would like to have both of your opinions on it. That why did you get into medicine in the first place?
So, you tend to be very idealistic when you are younger. The older you get, the more disillusioned you get with life, and people start prioritizing things like money, career, and all of that. But I think growing up, I was very, very fascinated by this field and how you get to help people. And one of the reasons I got in the first place was I found out about this organization called Doctors Without Borders. And, I was a very idealistic, happy little kid. And I was like, oh, I need to help people. I'll get to help people. So that's why I got in.
No, but the bigger question, I think, Oishika, is that a lot of people tend to get in being a doctor with saying that they want to help people. They like biology, like studying about human medicine, human body, and whatever it is.
Yeah.
But there must be some, and the reason they tend to get disillusioned is because it is not well compensated for the amount of efforts you put in. It's, you and the amount of exams that you give, the amount of stress that you are in, the grueling residency, the toxic residency, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Right? And that's when the disillusionment comes. What we are asking is that what keeps you going today? You have been through that disillusionment process. Are you still, do you like, if you can go back 17, 11 years down, or sorry, not 11, but 12 years back, would you still choose it? And would the reasons be different?
Yeah, maybe if I had to tell something to my younger self, I'd definitely tell myself that you won't be, you'll probably not feel the same way some 10, 11 years down the line. You'll prioritize yourself more than you'll prioritize
Helping others.
Helping others, yeah. Because as I find myself, there are times right now when I'm not even able to help myself. So yeah, I definitely tell myself to, think about other things, especially being a first generation doctor. Nobody told me how grueling it was going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like that scientist song from Coldplay. Nobody said it was easy. Nobody told that it will be so hard, right?
yeah. Yeah, but what keeps me going right now, partly I'd say, is the fact that once you're in this, there is a very set pathway to go. That is number one.
No, so
And
no per se motivation, you would say?
I'd not say that. I do love interacting with patients. I do love OPD, OT. I love talking to patients, counseling them, everything.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'd really like it. If I had some time to myself as well. And there are times when I beat myself up about it. Yeah.
So let me ask you another version of this question. That okay, if you were given a choice today, that from tomorrow you don't have to see any patient, the salary that you're getting as an SR, I'll give you for a desk job from 9 to 5. You'll have time for yourself, you'll have time for your family, you'll have time for mental health. Would you choose being a doctor, or would you choose to be on a desk job?
Definitely a doctor. Definitely,
But
definitely.
why?
Yeah.
That is the core that we're asking. See, the entire point,
Yeah.
entire discussion hinges on this only. So, a bit about like, hello, hi.
Yeah.
So, the entire discussion hinges on this, that even if I am like, at times I'm very, very like anti being a doctor, right? So, and even like Oishika, even right now, even Oishika said this thing only, that she doesn't, matlab, I'll tell my younger self that, it's going to be a tough journey, and I want time for myself. I don't want to give it to patients and everything. But when given a choice between choosing a desk job
Yeah.
and choosing her current job, she still would be like, no, but abhi wali better
Yeah,
hai.
because desk jobs are boring. Desk jobs are really boring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that begs a question, that if you were to draw a pie chart of why you should be a doctor. So I'll ask both Aditya and Oishika separately this question. How much percentage would you allot to self-satisfaction or job satisfaction, and how much percentage you would allot to
Money.
earning money? Aditya, you go first.
So, once you are a doctor, okay. So Deepu Seban talked about the fact that it's the truest thing he has done. I'll put it more bluntly. It is the most interesting thing anyone can actually ever do. There is never a dull moment in the life of a doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is something I think Dr. Karthik Balachandran also once talked in her tweet, in his tweet also, that what we do has a purpose, and at the core humans want to do something that has a purpose, and this is what exactly what Deepu Seban is meaning by
Doing the truest thing.
yeah, talking about that it is a truest thing, because whatever we are doing as a doctor, it has a purpose. So even if it is not well compensated, and let's be very, very clear, we doctors are extremely undercompensated, no matter what people keep on talking about. The residency is grueling, it's heck toxic, and you have enough doctors on Twitter who will support the fact that who will give example, who themselves are examples of being such people, but at the core, the core job that you're doing, it is satisfying. So I will tell about, like, I'll talk about something like, I'm not technically an entrepreneur. I don't have like an organization to my name, but yes, I have delved into edtech. Like, I do have an app. I tried to make an app. I do have, how do I put it? Like, I've been active on YouTube. I like do have something different from going for medicine. Apart from medicine. That does not stop the fact that, and I do enjoy that. Let me be very clear. I love teaching. I love being on YouTube. And I love interacting with students and my juniors and seniors alike. And it has given a totally different meaning to my life. Like, but at the core, the doctor being, like, an example from today itself, I remember that I was coming back from, it was a 24-hour duty. I was coming back and I was dead tired. It was a bad duty. And I was just thinking this only, that finally residency is coming to an end. I don't have to do this again. I was thinking about that if I become a good educator in pediatrics or something, I might not need to do it again. But I remember a father of a child who I treated 2 years ago, not me, but the unit basically treated. He literally stopped me. Aditya sir, stopped me. Like, I was going. So, idhar aaye, like, and showed his child कि अब वो एकदम ठीक हो गया. He was a kid with medulloblastoma. And I remember him being a 2-year-old kid, me doing intraventricular methotrexate and stuff like that. And now एकदम ठीक था. He was happy, he was laughing. And उसने मेरे साथ handshake किया. And he smiled again. And there's this, like, you can't quantify it, and maybe, and all things that, like, even this is exactly the words I'm paraphrasing basically Dr. Karthik Balachandran. I would say that all things that are important probably can't be measured, and today what I experience probably is something which cannot be measured. And this is the truest thing which Deepu Seven talked about. So no matter how much amount of money, let's say, a person earns from
Side hustles.
from other adventures and everything, the fact that what we do has a purpose, we doctors can't let go of that.
And yeah, I mean,
At some core, you want to keep on doing that. You might want to tone it down a bit. Let's say as an educator, or let's say as a entrepreneur, you might be getting a lot of more money, which is taking care of your basic needs. So if you draw the Maslow's hierarchical triangle, basically the first thing is the basic physiological needs, and then comes the sense to self and the purpose thing. Now, what happens during residency is that since even the basic physiological needs are not being fulfilled, you are not able to concentrate on the purpose aspect of being a doctor, and that's when you start to hate being a doctor, or don't like the profession that much. But I think when that has been compensated, which has been compensated for Deepu Seben, and which has been compensated for us now after being a while in this career for a portion, when those basic physiological needs are satisfied, then you can actually look forward to the purpose aspect of it, and then there is actually nothing better, because the satisfaction is like, it's not key you're building something and 10 years down the line the satisfaction is going to come. It's instantaneous, like, immediately उसी समय
the patient comes to the OPD, he gets
और वो एक हफ्ते बाद आएगा और वो ठीक होगा. And even from cancer point of view, let me talk about, अगर मैं leukemias की बात करूँ या lymphomas की बात करूँ, Hodgkin lymphoma की बात करूँ, Hodgkin lymphoma में they will come with this such huge cervical lymphadenopathy, massive hepatosplenomegaly and stuff like that, and एक ABVD मिलता है या 2 ABVD मिलता है, वो melt करता है, like the word is melt, है ना, एकदम ऐसे डाउन टू नॉर्मल हो जाता है जिसको कहते हैं, एंड वो अलग ही लेवल सेटिस्फैक्शन होती है. एंड वो पर्पस डॉक्टर्स एक बार उसको देख लेते हैं ना, तो इट्स लाइक अ ड्रग, आई वुड से. यू कीप ऑन chasing it irrespective of the amount of money that you get. That purpose keeps on driving you, even if you want to, even if the primary source of income is something else. Let's say you are an entrepreneur also.
And I think that is one of the reasons that even senior surgeons do run an OPD even at the age of 70. I mean,
matlab,
it is for them. I think it's not for the money.
I remember I went to Guleria sir was the our director at AIMS, and as a part of RDA हम लोग कुछ बात करने के लिए गए थे, something like that, किसी उसके लिए. So as a director of AIMS, obviously the main responsibility is more of administrative in nature rather than clinical. Obviously you're responsible for functioning of the hospital, for formulating guidelines, and he was the forefront of he was the main guy who was responsible for the entire COVID task force and the response of this country to COVID. Now what he's doing has a purpose, no doubt, मतलब एक broader purpose है देखा जाए तो technically, but
for himself, I think it is for himself that he sees the OPD.
Exactly. उसके PA ने बोला कि सर अगर अपनी OPD में नहीं जाते ना तो वो ऐसे हलचल में आ जाते हैं, वो uneasy feel करते हैं. So वो चीज रहेगी अगर आप एक बार आपने वो डॉक्टर बन के एक्सपीरियंस कर लिया हो तो.
The whole concept of around being a doctor has an altruistic meaning to it. At its core, it does fulfill our jobs, fulfill our hearts, and for whatever reasons currently we might be unsatisfied या कुछ खराब चल रहा है situation, but for most of the days we do feel happy
about the job that we
about the
do.
job we are doing.
I'll put it very bluntly. I do get like a tiny ego boost every time, a patient comes back to me and thanks me for what I have done, or if they specifically remember me during their hospital stay. Yeah, so altruism aside, I think everybody wants to be appreciated, everybody likes to be appreciated, and medicine is one place where you have, I think it's the one field, one occupation where you have direct human interaction and you have the ability to directly touch somebody's life, which I don't think is there in any other occupation.
I think that's the reason we will keep on being doctors despite and also keep on hating on it. Whatever might be the scenario. So that's the thing. I think we'll end the podcast here, right, Rishabh? Chalo.